Hey guys, I'm doing Resistance Game, come at you, brand new YouTube video. This YouTube video is going to be me discussing the new mutant archetype, but not specifically the new mutant archetype, but we're specifically going to be discussing this. This is the, let's quickly add some cards to the list. This is going to be the new engine that mutants are going to be played as. Now, why specifically this engine? This engine is going to be here for a reason. This is generic. This is a generic 2 negation engine. What is it? This engine pretty much revolves around this card here, Myutant ST46. Myutant ST46 here states, if this card is normal special summons, you can add 1 mutant spell and trap from your deck to your hand. Contribute this card, banish 1 card from your hand or face up field, special monster from your hand or deck based on the banished card. Banish a monster, you get out Beast. Now, that is all we care about. We don't care about Mist, we don't care about Arsenal. Now, personally, this deck is a tier 1 contender by itself, but now we're going to try and implement it into other decks because this is an engine that is generic. There is no strings attached. Not a single bit of this is locked. All of this is free. So the search is free. The summon from the deck is free. Amazing, yeah. And this is all able to be done through Mutant Clash. This is the new continuous trap card that says, when you activate this card, you take one effect monster your opponent controls, banish a mutant from your hand from your graveyard, and if you do, negate its effects at the end of the turn. When a level 8 or higher, we don't care about that. But what we care about is ST46, which attributes it so it gets in the graveyard, meaning this fuels Clash. Bear in mind, and then if you open up ST46 plus any monster, dead hand traps, yeah, Veilers, like no materials. If you say you're siding going first or siding going second, and you go first and you open up Nibiru, you can use ST46. Or your main deck in Nibiru, you go against a deck that Nibiru doesn't work against, in your turn you can just banish it off for ST46. Yeah, so that is really important. Now, what about Beast? What does Beast do? It's ignoring the first few things. It can't be targeted monster effects, which is alright. When you banish a spell card or effect, quick effect, banish 1 card from your hand or field, the end activation if you banish that card. So pretty much there's no floating from the graveyard, there's nothing like that, it's simply banish it and negate it. As well as obviously ST46, and all of this is generic, may I just say. Now this side deck I'll get into in a minute because it's just like, that's the optional cards. So yeah, everything here generic, and it's a free 1 card engine. It's a free 6 card engine. What about the cards on it? So expansion, cry, synthesis. These are all the new cards I want to talk about. So you can play expansion in your deck if you really want to. You're playing more search targets, you could search expansion, yeah, which means when you activate it, check a level 8. Actually no, there's not much point in running it. It's mainly just these two. So if you want to play the cry plus synthesis, so if you open up your ST46 on a following turn, you can search the cry, and then during your opponent's turn you can go into synthesis. If you really want to play that engine, you can. Just remember it is taking up a slot at your extra deck, and it was also taking up another slot in your main deck. Main deck's tight, don't bother. However, if it isn't tight, I'd possibly say slide in this cry, because then if you open up another ST46, you have another valid search target to normal summon, search, set, opponent's turn, shuffle back, and do your combo. Because then you can go back into Beast just off a cry. However, obviously, cry is a bit limited. But, like I said, the option's there. Now, comparing this deck, this engine, to the... So let me just get rid of these. Comparing it to these, comparing it to this engine, which... This is pretty much the main discussion on this. If I just quickly grab everything. Let's just say we're going for the... Now, also, actually, also on this subject, price. Do I think these are going to be expensive? No. Unless E-Telly suddenly shoot up, Clash is a common, Beast is super rare, SD46 is an ultra rare. It'll be cheaper than Invocations, trust me on that one. Our Mirage, and then... So if we just saw this, look at how many cards you have to acquire for this engine. Yeah, compared to this engine. This engine is 6 cards. This engine is 12 cards. Takes up 3 extra deck slots. Takes up 12 main deck slots. Oh, sorry, 9 main deck slots, which is almost 1.5 times the amount of slots. It takes up 3 more slots than what this one does. So if your deck's more tight, we'll go for this. But the benefit, you might say, oh, but you're setting up 2 negates, you're setting up monster and spell negate. Macabre can't negate traps unless you're playing traps in your hand, but most of the time you set them for your opponent's turn, so you can't negate traps. Like Impermanence. Neither can this. But if you bait out the Macabre, you have 2 negates. 2 negates in this instance. Like I said, cheaper. Invocations are way too expensive still. Let me just quickly do a quick look up. If I go here and I go, here, bop, bop. Come on. So yeah, as a whole, we're looking at quite expensive cards. I would, quite expensive sets. So Invo. If we look at generic invocations, I'd still think they're holding high up in the price. They were when I was still playing, at least. But yeah, what I say about this engine compared to this one. This is more consistent, but this is better off. So if you need a small, concise engine, that is, yeah. For invocations, you're paying about 15, 16 euros. Whereas you type up Mutant. Do they have them on here yet? They do. Okay. What one is it? ST46. We look at pre-sales for ST Mutant. ST46. You look at this, and this is pre-selling at 9 quid. Now, that is a complete jump down. You might say, okay, what about that's cool. Everything else, bulk. Unless these spikes up in price. As far as I'm concerned, the invoked engine is very cheap, but the invocations, everything is cheap. As emergency teleports currently just shoot up for a one-off. Beast is a super rare, and Clash is a common. If the ST46 is an ultra rare, then yeah. I can understand it being high. Yeah, you're spending 24 quid on that, whereas you're spending pretty much almost 6 quid more on the invoked engine. Like I said, it's personal preference. If you've got the invoked engine, you might want to stick with it. But like I'm saying, there's different alternatives to this. So you can play the Myutant Engine over this. Yeah? What is and I've already gone through how the Myutant Engine is generic, but I wouldn't be surprised if Eldritch start incorporating mutants instead of the 9 cards that Invoked requires to play more traps and more hand traps. Yeah. On top of this, you can literally, for the same amount of cards in your main deck, you can play triple Ash Blossom, triple Nibiru, triple Veiler, triple Ogre. Yeah. You can play more hand traps, or you can be more of a dickhead and play cards like Solemns. You can play Imperms. You can play Floodgates like Anti-Spell Fragrance. See what I mean? See what I'm getting at? And that's it. So really, that is it. And the video was only 8 minutes. It's actually quicker than the last time I recorded because I full screened and it just went wrong on my OBS so much. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Be prepared because next video is going to be a new one. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Later.